1 o'clock.
Today's news.
CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm Christopher Cruz. It's a furious and chaotic flight from the onslaught of Hurricane Milton, now with winds just under Category 5 level and predicted to make landfall on Florida's Gulf Coast late tomorrow night. Chanel was visiting Orlando and made it home to Philadelphia.
We have family that's still there who may have to stay because their flight was on Wednesday, and now airports are closed on Wednesday.
Governor Ron DeSantis is warning residents of his state to keep up their guard, even if they don't expect a direct hit from the hurricane.
This is not just an event about the west coast of Florida. That will be where the initial impacts and probably the most significant, but the impacts will not be limited there.
Gas Buddy is now saying about 17% of filling stations in Florida have no gas. There's rising anger over the spread of storm and aid disinformation by former President Donald Trump. Here's Tampa Mayor Jane Castor.
Please don't get political on this. This storm is going to affect everybody, and we are getting the help that we need from all of the different governmental officials.
Tampa and St. Petersburg could take a direct hit first time in a century. Vice President Kamala Harris today went after Trump for his false claims about FEMA.
It's profound, and it is the height of irresponsibility and, frankly, callousness.
Vice President Harris on ABC's The View.
And the idea that somebody would be playing political games for the sake of himself, but this is so consistent about Donald Trump.
And in the lead-up to Election Day in less than a month.
If you really need to know how he thinks, since he doesn't do these kinds of interviews, watch his rallies. He spends full time engaged in grievance about what has happened to him. He spends full time perpetuating lies and misinformation.
Matt Piper, CBS News.
Republican vice presidential candidate Senator J.D. Vance was highly critical of something Harris said on The View.
They ask her one thing you would do differently from Joe Biden. You know what she says? I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
In a new book, author Bob Woodward says Trump has had as many as 7 private phone calls with Vladimir Putin since leaving office. Fordham University journalism professor and former CBS News Moscow bureau chief Beth Noble.
It's saying that he continued to have contacts with Russian President Vladimir Putin after Putin launched his war in Ukraine.
The book also says that Trump secretly sent the Russian president COVID-19 test machines in 2020. On Wall Street at the close, the Dow was up about 1/3 of 1%, S&P 500 up about 1%, NASDAQ up almost 1.5%. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 74 degrees in Oakland, California.